everyone, it's Mrs. Smith and welcome to some of my short drawing sessions. We're taking a page out of my sketchbook and I'm going to show you how to draw something that might look complicated, but we're going to break it down into simple shapes and it's going to be kind of easy. So let's take a look at what we're doing today. Today we're going to be doing a beautiful bird and some cherry blossoms. It'll remind you of springtime. And again, I'm going to break it down so it doesn't look so complicated. Let's take a look at the actual sketchbook picture. Take a look. Everything is broken down into ovals, circles, triangles, all those geometric shapes. And it'll be really easy once you can get that in your mind when you're drawing this, and that'll help with a lot of future drawings that you do as well. So this can be done in pencil, it could be a pen and ink piece, you could watercolor this afterwards, colored pencils, oil pastels, it's limitless. You could get a tattoo of it, maybe not. But anyway, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this nice and easy, and your outcome is going to be beautiful. Okay, here's what I need to get started. I've got my eraser, I've got my pencil, and I have my pencil sharpener. Let's take a look at the bird again, and we're going to see that in the very middle of your picture is the focal point, and it is an oval. It's a little bit of a bigger oval, and then we have this oval here that overlaps, meaning it goes over that just a little bit. So this is the overlap section here, and it's pointed up. So we're going to get started with that. So again, this is broken down for you to really see those areas where it overlaps, the triangles that are on there, and we're going to get started with that. So right in the middle of my page here, I'm going to go ahead and get that oval. Don't worry if it's not a perfect oval because the shape of the bird isn't going to be exactly perfect. And then I'm going to add this one now at the top that's kind of tilted up. So I'm going to go look over at this area here, make sure that that overlaps a little bit, and I get that second oval overlapping right there. Once I do that, I'm actually going to erase this area and where it intersects. Where it intersects is where these two lines cross over, just like an intersection in the road. And you're going to erase that area, and then I'm going to dip down like a smile and attach it so that that head looks like it's attached more to the body. And then for the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. It kind of goes up and then attaches down. Okay, so now I've got the head attached to the body. And I'm going to look at this area here, which is a upside down V, if you look at it that way, little triangle, and it does not go higher than the head. So I'm going to draw a little line, real light, so I can erase it. And I'm going to draw that wider V right there that's like rounded. Okay, so right now it kind of looks like it's half cat, half teddy bear, but it's going to be a bird, believe it or not. And we're now going to draw the tail feathers coming out. So notice that this fans out like this. So I'm going to start about, I look at where it starts here, a little bit over, that's the halfway mark on that line there. I'm going to start it a little bit over, and then I'm going to fan that up. So fan it, meaning that it's going to fan out a little bit. So it's going to curve. So that's going to curve that direction. The next part is almost at the bottom, and I'm going to curve it out the other direction. Okay, so I'm going to curve both lines out, and then I can just attach a half circle or a quarter circle to the top of that for now. All right, we'll go back in and fine tune that some more. So I've got those two things going. As far as the wing in the middle, I'm going to look and see that where this dip is, it starts like right on the other side of that dip. So I'm going to follow that down, and right on the other side, I'm going to start almost a straight line, and watch, it intersects right where this area is here. So it's going to cross over there. All right. And then it looks like a check mark, right? That looks like a big check mark, but it does not attach. So I'm going to bring that down into a little check mark and have it come up like that. Okay, so I'm going to get that part of the wing. If I look at the beak looks like it's pretty parallel to the bottom of the head. So I can turn this a little bit, make sure that that's a little bit parallel there, get my beak. It's going to look like a piece of candy corn kind of, right? Rounded. and the smile is going to come up a little bit, and it's going to come onto the head. So it doesn't look like it's just attached on the end. It's actually going to come up over the head there. So when I've attached it to the head, and then take a look at this shape right here, almost looks like a question mark coming down. So I can't turn my page because of the camera, but I'm going to try to imitate that question mark coming down for you to see it there. And then again, this can be a little bit feathery looking so that it doesn't look like it's a plastic bird. Okay, we can do that later. And then right in the area where it starts to come up is where you're going to put a nice big oval for the outside of the eye, and then another one for the inside of the eye. Okay, so now we're going to take a look. We've got the basics of the bird, and it's starting to look a little bit better. We still have a few things we need to get done with it, but now we're going to look at this branch that comes out, almost like a skinny, pointy triangle. And notice that it's smaller here because it's farther away, and then it gets bigger as it comes towards you or the camera. So that's going to start right where that dip is, okay? So I look where that dip is, and I'm going to bring this coming way over, almost like it's an X, like if I were to cross it over the whole body of the bird there. That's going to come over, and then remember, it starts out smaller and gets wider as it comes towards you. All right? So don't worry about your branch not being perfectly straight. It's a branch, right? It's going to have some bumps in it, and you want some bumps in it to look more realistic. Now the tricky part is going to be these cute little claws that come around. So they're grasping around it, so you're going to see it go around. So we're going to take right where this intersection is right here and kind of draw a squared off letter C. If I look at it from the side, it looks like a C. And then those are the claws, and I'm going to get several of those, 3 of those coming around, and erase the lines of the branch because the claw is over the branch, okay? And now we're going to look at this second leg that we see here that comes down right underneath. You have a little bit of space here, and it's like another V that you're making that does not attach, and then it angles over. And again, you're going to draw the claws that go around. Let me refer to this picture here now. It goes around the branch. So get that kind of squared off look and get those in there coming around, and a little one that goes towards the back. And then again, make sure you erase all of your lines that are the branch because the claw or the foot is on top of the branch here. All right, so we're going to have that looking like it's going over. Okay, so now it's starting to look more like a bird, right? Okay, we're going to go back up to this tail feather up here, and we're going to notice where this V comes to a point on this tail feather. So right where that point is, you're going to make a little bit of a curved line right up the middle there. All right, now all the lines now on this side are going to fan this way, and all the lines on this side will fan the opposite direction. So I start at the bottom and fan it out so it gets a little bit wider at the top with each one. All right, there we go. And now the other side, do the same thing and fan that in the other direction. All right, now what you can do is go back in, and if you want to, you can create the tops of your feathers, and if you want them to be a little bit pointed and rounded, you can do that, and then just erase that circle line that you see that's in there. You can do that before or after, either way. And then if you want to add more lines coming down from that point on those little points that you made going up, and then you can have several lines then coming down for those tail feathers that go out. So that's up to you how many you want to put there. Now let's focus on this group of feathers here. There's kind of like 3 tiers of feathers. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do a little bit of a quarter circle there, and I already have a quarter circle there, but I might make it come in just a little bit more. And then you can turn your page to the side. This group of feathers, you're going to bring it around, almost like a hot dog shape coming in, and bring that around and just keep doing that, looping those over like that. And then you can go back in and round those edges a little bit more if you want to. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these. I'm just going to fan these out a little bit. When I say fan them out, they're going to just be fanned around so that they start here and go out. Same thing. Now I can make that a little bit pointy or rounded on the edges. Put a line going down the middle of those as well. And then I'm going to do the same thing, kind of like what I did on the end here. I'm going to bring this around and bring that up, around and up, and keep doing that all the way around. So I've got my feathers on there. So I'm going to color in this pupil, make it come to life. There we go, a little bit more. And then, like I said, if it looks a little bit chubby or if I want to make him look a little leaner, I can just go back in and erase a few lines right now and get that in. So I'm going to erase this, okay, and then I can just go in and start putting in like some little lines, contour lines in there that are going to indicate some more feathers and the way that the grain of it. Okay, same with the bottom here. I'm going to go in and just indicate with some lines again to make it look just a little bit more feathery. Okay, and now let's work on the branches with the cherry blossom flowers. Okay, once again, wider on the bottom and they skinny out as they get longer. So I'm going to make this, and my branch is going to be a little bit like, look at those angles. It's not just going to be a loop like a noodle or anything. Okay, make it wider over here, and then I'm going to slowly decrease it. It's getting tinier and tinier all the way to the end. Okay, almost like an arm that attaches. All right, and I'm going to erase that because this attaches onto the branch, right? It's not just onto the edge. It actually is sitting on there. Okay, it's going to attach onto there. Okay, so same thing I'm going to do if I want to do a smaller branch coming out, wider where it attaches, and then it gets skinnier coming out. All right, leaves are the same way. I'm going to attach leaves with a little stem that comes out, and then you can do like almost like a football shape to get your leaves on there. Okay, and then you can put one behind, one in front, and get your leaves attached on there. Remember, it goes onto the branch. As far as our cherry blossoms, let's take a look at how the cherry blossom is. It is just a flower in the middle, a little flower. If you want to, you could put a template of a circle around it so that you can get that even. And you want to do 5 petals. Okay, so I'm just going to make one right here so that we can see. I'm going to start out with that the inside part, right, of the flower. And then I want to do, if I do that method of putting a circle around it real lightly, just so I know for a guideline. And then I want to do 5 petals. So they're going to come out bigger and then attach. So I'm going to, and do it lightly so that you can erase if you need to. I'm going to get those petals coming all the way around, and some of them can overlap. And then go ahead and erase that guideline that you drew of the circle. So you've got that. All right, and go back over it. And then the inside of the flowers have these little stems that come out. And I'm going to draw like a double line with a little circle on the end. Okay, and that's how the cherry blossoms look. Now a little trick, if you want to make the petal look like it's folded up a little bit, right now I've got my petals going out like this. All I have to do is make this little bump like that and attach it again. And there you go. It looks like the petal is tilted up a little bit on the end there. And then do what I did here, overlap. Put another one underneath. If you want to, just draw part of a circle underneath. See where that center would be. All right, erase what is in there now. Draw that little flower in the middle that we talked about, and then get your petals going around it. All right, and then you won't see the other ones because it's underneath, right? We overlapped it. And then don't forget to get those little things coming out of the middle there. And you can just compose your picture. You can get some other leaves put in there. Remember that football shape that you want to get. Afterwards, you can go in, and when you do the veins on the leaf, if you want to do that like I have here, make sure you curve your lines. You don't want to put them straight because it might end up looking like a zipper or stitches or something like that. And you want to just make sure that those lines are curved in there. So now it's up to you how you want to compose your picture. You can go in and add, you know, other branches. You can put another branch coming up over here. Remember, thicker at the bottom. Now this one, you're not going to see where it attaches onto the other side. So I am going to leave that line there. And I can make it skinnier, remember, as it goes out. And then I can attach my other branches onto this and flowers. And if you want to draw one that has one dipped down in the top here as well to try to like frame your picture up, that would be wonderful. So go back in now and you can add more little lines. You could add some shading. You can detail things out a little bit more. And go ahead and just make it your own now. If you wanted to color it, you could put blue in the background or green for other shrubs that could be behind it, or a really pretty blue sky with clouds or something, or a sunset or nighttime, right? All right, guys, thanks so much. I can't wait to see your birds.